Have you seen Terminator? It was nice watching the
Arnold documentary, yes.
I remember seeing all those movies growing up. But, yeah, just never heard it from Arnold's perspective.
And what else he was doing and how it was to get into it.
Yeah. So Arnold, when did you first see him?
See Arnold?
Yeah, I guess I was only aware of him after pumping iron.
There was magazine Muscle and Fitness.
Yeah.
Was a man, he was on the cover. Because he went, he wasn't super famous in South Africa, but he did that one Mr. Olympia in Johannesburg.
Yeah, the show, yeah.
And Johannesburg was a very big, strong, also bodybuilder because he went there.
Yeah.
So.
How old were you?
No, I wasn't born.
Oh, okay.
So, because he came there, that was the last, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, what he went on to achieve, we sort of run on the, Arnold was here, so that the fanfare, and bodybuilding was big in Johannesburg, and it sort of filtered down to Cape Town, and then it was magazines, and then there was different shows, and there was the gym outside I worked at when I was 19, 20. Shamin Adams was South African champion, and he was great guy. Had a supplement shop outside, and we used to hang out there in between clients. And he was the godfather of bodybuilding. And he used to just talk and teach, and I used to pick his brain and just talk to him. Him and his brother, and every other bodybuilder that was in the gym that was training.
Yeah.
Like Lance and Clint, friend of mine is living in Canada now. We all used to go there as young trainers and listen to him and dieting advice and how he trains and what he does, and mainly the body, how he looks after it. So he put us on to, and obviously being in that world, you seek out what you want to seek out. And then I obviously watched Pumping Iron.
It's a good movie.
It was, but then my main thing was obviously the movies was Arnold, but it was also Rocky and Rambo.
Yeah.
Those were my two growing up, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, but Arnold was just something else. What he did in the documentary of how he went from that just a small town in Austria. He was a governor.
Yeah. He could have been a nobody, but he became a somebody.
Yeah.
So in South Africa, when did you start gymming? Did you start your fitness journey?
I was always active growing up.
Yep.
Sports wise, winter was soccer during junior school, and athletics. Not so much long distance, 100s and 200s. High jump, long jump, we do that. And then cricket in summer. And that's the two sports I mainly played all the way through. And then got to high school. It was just a natural progression to go into the gym. You go with teams and different clinics and academies and stuff like that, and they take you to what thing was Health and Racket. So I was always in the gym. Even from about 15, 16, and I was always, not going to say obsessed, but I remember there was a mirror and a dressing table. I used to make the room dark. Yeah. And Dad got me these two 10-kilo dumbbells. It was just iron. And I just sit there, just do curls and shoulder press. So when they talk about the stuff on line, they're just sitting in a dark room just pumping. It's that's legit. So, and I was just always obsessed with just being strong. It's always something that's come naturally to me. I've always been strong. Cardio, no chance. It's something you gotta work on. But strength has always just come naturally for me. So watching him and Hercules, any of you, there was a lot of shows where he showcased his strength. Obviously it's movies we know, it's moving bold as a man can't pick up a rock, we know that. Yeah. But just seeing him flex and shit and pick up a rock or thinking you can was good.
Yeah.
And then the gym was sports based and just performance. And then it was just to get big. So I started figuring out deadlifting, squatting, benching. The people that I was training with were 5, 6, some 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
And strength-wise, I was within, I'm not going to say I was stronger than them, but I was closer to them what they think that I would have been, if that makes sense. And that surprised me because I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess the elders were surprised you keep up with them.
Yeah, so, and then strength was just fun. It was seeing, there's nothing better than putting something on the barbell and be can I pick it up? You can either pick it up or you can't.
Simple.
Yeah. If you pick it up, you got stronger. If you can't pick up the next weight, you need to train more to get stronger for the next one.
Yeah.
It's simple and clean.
were you PTing in Johannesburg?
No, I was in Cape Town. So
Cape Town.
I was PTing at Virgin Active. Did that for 5 years from 19, I was 19 to I think 21, 23, 24. And in that time when I met Jody. So I was doing that I was the youngest PT on the floor. There was a lot of characters. I was actually talking to Jody about it last week. Because she worked in the same gym I was. She worked as a sales consultant and moved to sales manager.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then it was the old Jets after that. And
that's where I met you. Jets.
yeah. What is that, 10 years ago?
Yeah. So I guess as an introduction, Cuan, I first met Cuan when I was 17 years old, when I first started going to the gym at Jets in Lynbrook. I just kind of hung around him. And then here we are, 10 years later. So I guess over this period, Cuan has been a great friend. He's been a mentor, helped me navigate through certain situations in life. And I guess I just wanted to pick your brain a bit more.
No, it's fun.
Chat.
It's been fun. It's been 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
It's a lot of 10 years this week. I was married 10 years. You coincided that with I met you, like I said, when you were 17, just before you finished high school, I think.
Yeah, so 2012 is when I finished. I was 17, and then as I was about to turn 18 is when I signed up at the gym.
Yeah.
Initially it was Jets Hallam, and then they were building the Lynbrook one, so that worked out perfectly.
And then you used to come sporadically to Lynbrook, and they were like, where do you live? Like, I live back here. It's like, why are you driving to Hallam? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
But that Jets was good. Jets was fun. That was like a small little community gym. Everybody knew everybody. Used to help with the cleaning, start packing away, maintenance, fixing shelves. It was good.
Snitch on the guys that come in during the night without tapping you.
That made me feel like God. Pull the cameras up, phone them, like, mate, you let your mate in. I'm like, no, I didn't. There's a camera here, I got you on camera.
Yeah, and I guess in that time we've both developed a lot. We've ticked a lot more boxes. And then there's a lot of things that you've done that I would like to do and implement in my life as well. Such as your Abovebar Coaching. Like, I want to talk about that a bit more as well.
Okay.
You started PTing. I met you as a manager. What made you want to do your own solo thing? Where
So
at this point you run your own business from home and you have a big clientele.
Decent. Okay. PT started way before that. It's 20 years in that. So straight from high school, came here, studied, and that time the course was still a 2-year course.
Yeah.
Did that with a diploma in sports and event management and business management. And it just seemed the right fit to work for myself from then on. And then I went to Virgin Active, like I said, back home, and started running a PT business for 5 years there. Came back here, worked at the Jets, did some management because I wanted to see what that side of the business was like. Enjoyed the sales. I liked the corporate side of it, and I did that. And I always had the PT business on the side, whether it was just writing programs, boot camps in the neighborhood, driving to football teams and giving some conditioning sessions. So the PT business was always there on the side and just running as a cash little job. Progressed from the management from Jets and landed what I would say was probably the most fulfilling role in the corporate environment was at Good Life.
Yeah.
Starting at Keringle. You've been at every gym I've been.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
Every gym I've managed, worked in or trained in, he's been a member of. So when we say we've come together a long way, it's been everywhere.
Let's list them. Jets, Genesis, where Jody was working.
Jody was manager there.
Good Life. And then a couple other bits and pieces.
But Good Life Keringle and Good Life Fountain Gate.
Okay, yeah. Variety is good.
It is. It was fun. It was good. And then the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now is Jody got a job that was very demanding on her time, energy. And we had a meeting when we got married and I said, okay, this is the goal. I want to be able to pick up my kids, or one parent needs to be able to pick up the kids after school. They don't want them to go to before and after school.
Yeah.
Got no issue that this is what I want to do. And obviously there's going to be some sacrifices here and there, but Jody's capacity earning wise in the corporate world was a lot greater and her potential to grow is a lot greater than mine. I don't like working. Like, I enjoyed my time at Good Life. I learned a hell of a lot of the people I met there, systems, routines, developing myself in that role was great. But I just couldn't be told what to do anymore. I don't think it's a disrespectful authority or anything like that. It's just, I'm a grown man. I don't be told what to do by somebody, how to do it. If the objective is to earn money, there's multiple ways to do that. I don't have to be in a job to do this. I didn't want to become unhappy in it. Because it was great. The challenges you've done pretty much almost all the challenges. The group workouts, we used to do big runs in St. Kilda. It was fun. It was good, fun things to do. That was all fitness and people moving. And I also wanted to try that in my own capacity. Running from home, being able to pick up the kids at 3:15 because it was a mad rush. Drop me at school at 9 o'clock. Like, work was only 10 minutes from me at school. But dealing with the things like that rushing of getting to school, dropping them off, making sure she's okay, starting in prep a big new school, making sure I get to school, to work on time, and then finishing at 3 and getting to school at 3:15. It was just, you're just emotionally drained by the end of it. And I did that for, I think it was probably the first 6 months of, I don't know, because she started prep when we went into the lockdown. That's 2020.
2020 is, I think, when you went solo.
Yeah, and then after that, we opened up. I think it was the May that year. I'll never forget, I handed in my resignation email to Lou, which was the club manager, and then phoned Jody, which was the regional fitness manager, and Jody's my wife, and Jody's Hutchinson was a regional manager. There's two different people. And that was the Tuesday, and I think the Wednesday morning, we went back into lockdown. So at that point, it was obviously scary because I was handing my resignation and go into this venture of a business, into the unknown. And I was like, you know what? You've made a decision. You accept it, move forward, you can't go back now. And ever since, I would say it's one of the most fulfilling things to do, because it's what I want to do when I'm there for my family, so that Jody can flourish in her role and do what she needs to do without worrying about, I need to get back on time so that I can pick up the kids at Cuan. And managing that schedule would have been a very stressful thing. Like, I take a massive hat to people that both parents work full time. And like, we had neighbors, one was a policeman, or a fireman, sorry, and a nurse. They split shifts with it, and they had 3 boys.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't do that. It's difficult. So, not that this is easy, but it suits our life better.
Yeah.
So I get to go on all the excursions. It's fun. Like, I really enjoy it. So, and then just making people strong, having them move better, move pain-free. Like, there's a lot of people that come to me, you're picking up people with injuries that are going through day-to-day life, where just quality of movement and getting strong is the bedrock of that.
Yeah.
Like, you should always be getting stronger. Like, nobody wants to get weaker. Like, you're never going to say that. It's like, oh, I wish I was weaker. This is not something you're going to say. And while I was doing like personal training online and while I was working with Good Life, did a couple of bodybuilding shows with a couple of my female clients. And during that time, that process is just making people strong. And obviously, if you eat properly, it's not a very complicated situation. In some cases, it can be, but generally not. So being in that environment, there's a lot of people that's not training properly in terms of movement and moving around things that are hurting them and not fixing it while still progressing. And I'm one of them. My back has plagued me for years, and this past 4 weeks has been, or 6 weeks now, has been where I just solidly just roll down into rehabbing it, and it's fine now. Yeah. For now, see what happens.
I think that really clicked with me in my fitness journey, that fitness is truly the foundation of a better life. Or it has to be part of your lifestyle. You can't take shortcuts. And the more fitter you get, it doesn't get easier. You have to challenge your body in different ways. You can't do the same things and expect better results.
Like that 5K we did last year, Dr. Mornington Marathon.
Yeah.
You're coming over the finish now. You finished at 21K. And your knee, I could just see your knee wobbling.
Yeah. Still haven't recovered, but yeah.
Let's get in there though. And I just did it for the donut, that free donut that was there.
Yeah.
It was good. But yeah, where were we with the journey of where we are now, Abovebar Coaching?
I guess when I was a bit more settled in work is when I came to you for your actual service.
Yeah.
And said, hey, I want a bigger, faster, stronger. What can I do?
Yeah, just movement.
Yeah.
I think that was around the time what's that book? Ross Edgley, I think his name is. He does some like crazy things, like did a marathon around Silverton racetrack or something with a log behind him, swam around Britain or something like that. And he got this book where it was,
Is the world's fittest book?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's got the principle in it as GPP, General Physical Preparedness. And it's a simple, good way. It's basically saying that everybody should be able to do most things. Sure, do a push-up, squat, bodyweight lunge, all those sort of movements. Move your body first. Get a little bit of capacity to run, maybe walk, do some sort of cardio work, and then go specify. Yeah. I think a lot of people are doing it the other way around and overcomplicating it a little bit. So that's when we talk about the why and the passion is just teaching and just getting people to move better so that they can set the foundation for life. Like you say, then it becomes more apparent, like I'm edging close towards 40 and you need to be able to move better. And this is for the next 10, 20 years. Like the biggest thing that's contributing to people's ill health as they get old is if they have a fall, bust the hip out, you hurt a leg or something like that. You're incapacitated for X amount of years that you're going to be alive for.
Yeah.
Not incapacitated, but you're just going to have a difficult time moving and not enjoying. So, if you're injured and you're sore and you constantly like that, your quality of life goes down.
Yeah.
Strength training has a amazing way of fixing majority of those things. Like just start moving. Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't have to be a 45-minute session every single day. It can be going for a walk. Just if you're doing nothing, doing something still better than doing nothing. So it's based on that premise. And yes, I've been fortunate with the group of people I have. I'm able to push them very hard because I've built up that relationship and their training age for the past, 2-3 years. Yeah. I mean, you've been training 3 years now? Yeah. With me, you're able to take that person through those progressions, and it becomes fun to see what that person can do and make them realize that they can do something that they didn't think they could at that upper level, which is great.
And I must say, when I did meet your group of clients, I was very impressed by how hard everyone worked, regardless of men or women, mum, non-mums. It blew me away.
You go in and work. Like we're in there for 40, 45 minutes. We don't have a lot of time. Like it's either dropping people off or picking the kids up, going in between stuff. So you need to get in, do a proper warm-up, get to a point where you can perform and leave. Have a chat when you're doing your rest periods, but you're there to work. So, and that's what the Saturday sessions are basically around. Like
mornings, like
yesterday was fun. Yeah. Everybody gets in there, everybody's working hard, everybody's working at their upper end of their capacity. It doesn't matter if that person's got 30 kilos in the ball and you've got 100. For that person's working to the upper levels, and that's all you can ever ask. You just push that capacity constantly, and it's fun.
Have you ever done any combat sports? Boxing?
I did boxing training once. Fantastic conditioning. I think I vomited when I did it. It was very intense, but I just don't have that urge to jump in the ring and fight. I love the training, like a martial arts training, like the kicking, like MMA training or jiu-jitsu and stuff, like grappling. That conditioning wise, that's phenomenal. And just to get you strong and mobile and fit. But if I need to fight somebody, there needs to be a reason. I don't understand the concept of high-fiving and then going punching the shit out of each other. Like,
I guess violence isn't really the answer for anything.
I don't know. This is a form of violence, but it's a martial art. It's a discipline that you're learning, and you can respect it. But it's still not for me. Like I couldn't get into the ring and just want to fight somebody. Have a chat.
I did a bit of jiu-jitsu. Like I still do train, and a lot of the skills that I learned from that has translated into just general life and probably weightlifting as well. I can follow instructions better, I can move my body better, my sense of awareness, flexibility, and then everything has just worked hand in hand.
It's the headspace as well.
Yeah.
For me at least, I find if I don't train, like I got a maximum amount of 2 days. If I don't train, like I can go for a walk, I can cycle, I can do some cardio, but if I don't lift something heavy, I become irritable, cranky, I just become snappy with everybody, I just become moody. And if you know me, like, moods too up and down, but it's even worse if I don't train. So I need to lift something that releases that. It's almost like you got this pent up reserve of energy if you don't train. And like shit happens through the day. Like you're driving on the road, you can't always explode and be angry.
Yeah.
Things happen, you got to swallow that rage. You just let it out somewhere. So
would you say you have to exert a certain amount of energy
each day? Yes.
Every day. Yeah.
And this has got nothing to do with calories. Like, it's just like there's a reserve inside of you where you need to push yourself, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. Sometimes depends what life gives you. There's going to be a point someday you're going to exhaust one capacity of yourself. So you should go to bed tired, basically, just exhausted.
Out of all the gyms you've worked at, what's been your favorite? Or would you say your home gym? And I guess
there's a couple of ways to answer that.
Yeah.
Because you talk about a home gym that just felt like home was Karingal, Good Life Karingal.
Yeah.
That club it's got a personality of its own, and the people there are just, there's just something special about Karingal when you work there, and it's a fun place to work. But then Fountain Gate also got a special place because of just what the club is, and the members again are great. Like there's no favorite club, I don't think, from a working standpoint. There's each one has the different things, but it always comes down to the people that work there, the personal trainers, the sales teams. If the people are fun, and that was Good Life, the recruitment process was fantastic. The type of person they used to recruit was very similar to each other across different clubs, or at least I experienced that. It was a very similar person, and that's what made it fun. But training in a gym to train in at nighttime it would be Genesis Berwick.
Genesis Berwick,
That would be a nighttime session after 9. The gym is quiet, there's a couple of people in there. Good place to train.
I remember the big windows, floor to ceiling. You can see the cars going past on the road.
It was cool on the angle, something to look at in between sets. It was good. And then at the moment now it's Muscle City. That gym just ticks all of my boxes that I need. The equipment's good, it's tidy, it's clean, people look after the place. There's 18 squat racks. I mean,
jeez.
You saw yesterday when we were training, everybody had their own rack, doing their own thing. There's enough space. There was a lot of people training on the other side of us. So that would be my favorites. So Good Life Karingal, Fountain Gate, and then to train myself would be Muscle City.
Nice. I agree. Like I don't like picking one thing over another. There's always pros and cons with everything. You get different values. So you need to look at each thing on its own.
Yeah, and what you like about that place.
Yeah.
Don't know what your favorite gym was, because did you train much at Karingal? No.
I reckon under 10 times, around 10 times. It was a daytime trip that I had to do, never been at night. And I remember the facility, it was good. It was always well lit. There was a nice glass window curving around the side. But the most time I spent would have been Good Life, Fountain Gate, and then Genesis Berwick.
That were the two main ones. And then you set up the home gym.
Yeah. That came after 2020, when everything shut down and I was going crazy. So I invested in some equipment, and it's been good. I've been able to it was a challenge at the start, but been improving on my self-motivation.
Now, did you feel like there was a point where you were traveling really well in terms of lifting well, you're moving well, doing the cycling, you're running? How's that injury affected you?
I guess the running thing, if you ask the younger me when you met me, I don't think I'd say I'd be doing anything like even this what we're doing now. So the running, it always blows my mind as well to know that I could actually. The most distance I've run is 21k. It wasn't the fastest, and I ran it injured, and I fucked it up even more.
Properly, that's.
Yeah, I have a good 5 and a 10k. I'm happy with that. It was just something that I wanted to do. COVID happened. I wanted to see some abs. I cut down a lot of weight, and then this new lightness in me felt really different. Like I could move better. I was better in jiu-jitsu, and that was probably my peak. That's when I got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Then I also started running. It started with one lap, for one 400-meter lap, then it became 2, 3, and 5k, 10k, 21k. So I guess that was just a challenge for myself. Most runs I freaking hated, but I loved how I felt after it.
How much, like, did you listen to Goggins when you were running? Or how much impact did he have in your life?
Oh, David Goggins. A lot. I first heard Goggins in 2018. And since then, every year, at least once, I listen to his book. And I've heard his second book as well, just as amazing. I guess that was one of the books that gave me the most value, along with many others along the way.
Yeah.
Just little bits and pieces that you have to learn and put together. But Goggins was all about mental toughness and like just pushing past, just your own mind. I thought my life was bad. Hell no. A lot of people have it worse. So just shut the fuck up and get to work.
Just do what you need to do.
So he gave me, I guess, that drive, you know, being that the lone
ranger.
warrior, just doing your own thing and just pushing your boundaries. So,
Because you've always been somewhat, I'm not going to say a loner, but you like your own company.
yeah, I have a battery that runs out, and I know
battery,
when I need to charge it up on my own, then I'll come back out again, and I'll use the battery up. So growing up, I was a bit introverted, and then I had just a small group of friends. Then I probably branched out a bit more after I finished high school. Probably the journey through the gym, the journey through uni, just meeting different people, different experiences.
But that's what it is, it's just growing.
Yeah.
You can't rush it.
And since a kid, like I've always wanted to do more, to be more.
Ooh, it's Arnold.
So I guess now I've found ways to actually articulate it and actually do something. But if I didn't go to the gym, this wouldn't have happened. Like I truly think fitness, like number one, you have to be able to move your body, which helps you think well.
It's everything it ties into, because if you can create a routine of just saying I want to go there 3 times a week, that creates a habit, and you become accountable to yourself. And if you go and you start like, why didn't you go? Just because of a weak excuse. I know it sounds like you've been all hardcore and stuff, but it's not. It's the small things.
Yeah.
Like stick to something, build the routine, get the habit, and then it'll just start going. Because this is something you have to do. Just look at it that way. I know, like for me, it's always been, I just enjoy training. So we'll always be in the gym, always doing something. But some people's not like that. So you can't expect somebody that's never done anything to just jump in and go into a full resistance day program, like a push day.
Yeah.
Just get them to do something small, and it's that habit of just going every single day.
Yeah.
Because just ticking boxes. Not everything's about just like the Instagram reels and stuff like that. It's fun. Like we all do it and stuff like that for the lifts, and it's fun. But just be able to go there, it's an agreement with yourself. You're gonna do it on this day, get it done.
You got to work behind the scenes to then present the best version when it's asked for. So back to the knee injury. Yes, Goggins ran and did a lot of events with pretty fucked up knees and broken toes and whatnot. So I thought, hey, I've signed up. I'm a little bit hurt. I just want to do it, collect my medal, put it on the wall, and then I'll deal with the pain.
Tick a box and get it done.
Oh, that was very painful. I've never felt that much pain in my life.
Your face crossing that line was just, you were in pure agony. But what's the actual diagnosis? What did the doctor say?
So, yeah, MRI, everything, physio, I had a few sessions. It's all good. There's nothing ripped. I have patella alta, which is apparently the kneecap. So by structure, my right kneecap is a bit higher. And when I started running, just the grinding of the bone has inflamed. I could have done a better prep. I accelerated too quickly.
Yeah, you started
was
training
being
3
patient.
weeks out.
but still got it done. So I guess, yeah, now it's been a bit more pain management, training around the injury, which I've worked with you, I've worked with the physio. I'd love to run more, but the knee's holding me back.
And confidence in it with jiu-jitsu and getting into a compromising position, would the knee hold up or would it injure you further?
Jiu-jitsu has been okay. I know my limits. I think I know my body very well. And if I feel uncomfortable, I'll let you know early.
Just tap.
You can win, like all good, you won. So I guess I have my own sets of strengths and weaknesses that I can apply. So I won't push it too hard. I try to do more cycling, indirect work. I can still run, just not as quick and not as long.
I think maybe 10K. 10K was the last time we tested it, was that's your upper end. Anything more than that, it starts.
Yeah,
So
starts to flare up a bit.
Maybe you should become a 10K specialist.
Yeah.
So, and mountain biking? We need to, I think, it's on the podcast now, it's down.
Yeah.
Coming into summer,
Yeah.
I think we need to, like, I'd like to take up a new sport.
Yeah.
So mountain biking needs to be, I'd like to be one of those.
Cycling is another freaking journey.
Yeah.
Again, during COVID, dropped some weight, did more cycling. I had a basic eBay bike. I think it was $200. Then I paid $100 to get it serviced. So that was an expensive service for that bike.
Oh, and that day when you bought the bike,
Yeah.
you came over.
Yeah. So I guess
That was-
I started with that shitty eBay bike.
Was the Huffy or something?
Trend. Like a black trend. I had a Huffy when I was a kid in New Zealand though. A nice yellow one. So I started riding this bike. My cardio was good. I took it to Listerfield a few times. It was quite rough. Then I didn't realize there's a whole network of bikes and manufacturers, and it's like a car.
You
Yeah, what you pay for.
specifics.
There's different models and comfort. Then I kind of developed a bit of a skill on that bike, became comfortable. Then I upgraded to my little Giant, which I brought to you as well.
That's
the
a
day.
Talon.
Yeah, the Giant Talon. Since then, I've done about 3,000 Ks on that particular bike. I've tracked every ride. I've developed as a rider. I've stacked many times. And just the confidence that I have on a bike it's a good feeling. Like you can send it down a hill. And you can trust your bike. You become one.
You become one with the
You
bike.
become one with the machine, yeah.
Nice.
And then after all that mountain biking, I wanted to do a bit of road cycling. So I ended up buying a road bike as well. It's amazing the cycling network there is. It's unreal.
I think cycling, fishing, and golf's the 3 most expensive sports.
I've been hitting some golf balls as well.
Yeah, see,
Yeah. Golf is fun. I haven't been out on a course yet. I would like to in the future, but it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of science behind a good swing.
Oh, it's a great thing to watch somebody swing a golf club, hit it straight and through. It's
And then out on the course.
walking an 18 hole or 9 holes even. It's just, I've done it once or twice. I just get bored. Like I can play a 9, like a short course. I think we'd call it a mashie or something. Just a nice. You just need I think it's a 9 or something. And you can play a small golf, but people spend whole days on golf courses. There's better things to do, for me at least.
What surprised me most was when I go to the driving range and I hit 100 golf balls, I burn about 350 calories. It's not fast twitch muscle fiber or anything like that, but would you say the fundamental of staying fit is just burning calories? Or
No.
would you say there's different ways to
You need.
like?
I think everybody's fitness is relevant to their life. So you need to do what makes you better at what you do on a day-to-day basis. So if you, for instance, are a tiler and you need to stretch a lot when you're screeding and you're grouting and you're pulling stuff and you're mixing cement with a spade, you need to be strong in those movements to make it functional and specific to that person. That you need to be able to walk a certain amount of distance specifically that person's life. So that's where the fitness and personal training comes into it, making it specific to that person's life and how they use their body. So the point is getting somebody to run when they never run in their life, but they do a lot of lifting. So you're gonna make that a priority and then use the cardio as a side just to get the body conditioned. But fitness is like running fitness and cardiovascular fitness. I think you should have a decent capacity for it. Like, it's difficult, and most people hate it because it is difficult. Lifting weights are cool. Go in there, lift some weights. It's instant release. The cardio stuff, like I've gravitated towards a little bit more endurance stuff, like the cycling things, just because it's easy on the joints and gets you moving. Like running's fun. I've been on and off with that and starting running. But just the body breaks down, so I've added cycling into it now to get just more time in the legs. Especially with ankles and knees and hips, combine that with lifting, the body gets banged up. And that's why like the focus with us and what we do with our team is you train hard, but then you also have a focus on recovery. Look at what you're doing outside of the gym to make sure that you're still staying loose. And like the massages, the needling, the cupping, all that stuff works. It just helps the body relax. Whatever you feel works, even if it's maybe just a placebo. If it makes you feel good, and your body feels relaxed after it, you should do it. Like if you, like fitness-wise, if you don't like lifting weights, find something that you're still going to put a resistance on your body. It doesn't always have to be just that in a gym. Like do rock climbing or something, or do an activity. Even mountain bike, when you're holding that, you're tensing, your arms are tensing, you're holding your structure strong. So just do something. The body's made to move and do stuff. It will do more of what you give it. So if you give it inactivity, it's going to crave that. If you give it movement, it'll want to move. You know, if you stop moving, you sort of get agitated and you're like, I need to do something. You get up and you do something, you feel better. Yeah. It's just, your body must move every day in some way, shape or form.
I agree. And with the running as well, it's impressive that you can maintain a really high heart rate and still run. So I guess not a lot of people have the ability to think well under pressure. Mm-hmm. And I've learned that through jiu-jitsu. When I'm being hammered by someone else, you have to be calm. This situation doesn't last forever. There's always a way out. Mm. Or you tap out and then you try again.
We on that about the fitness and stuff like that. We had a rugby coach in high school that said a fitter team will always beat a more skilled and talented team, because if they're not as fit as you, their mind's not going to work as sharply as yours. So if you can be under load and under fatigue and still think clearly, you've got the edge. And that's what it all comes down to, what's between your ears.
Yeah.
That tells what your body to do. So that was one thing that stuck with me. Like if you're fitter than somebody, you'll be able to stay calm and think clearer in a stressful situation. I think it works with equanimity.
So in my time at the gym, I haven't really worked with any other PT or had someone coach me. And I feel yours is much more than just a PT business.
It is, because it has to be. Like but personal training has evolved a lot over the years. It started out just for sports people and somewhat like your celebrity type people. Whereas now, the daily person needs, not going to say management, but just a space where they can leave the bullshit of the day behind, vent to somebody that is completely impartial to their life, and then go and be the best version who they need to be for the people that matter most in their life. So having that person, if they have a shit day or something at work or something happened, just a check-in, it's just a conversation. It's like, hey, how you doing? How's your day been? But actually meaning it and caring with that person. When you ask that person how you do and you want to know how the day's been.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just having a chat. Have a 2-minute conversation, a couple of texts, you get some of that venting energy out. It puts you in a better position for if you're going to go into a meeting, or you're going to go pick up the kids, or you're going to go do something. You can go in that and just download from the mind and approach this next situation that may be stressful with a clean slate almost. Yeah. So the training side of it's a catalyst to get a change in the person fundamentally where they can move forward or something. So there's a big goal. So if someone wants to lose weight, I've always been a fan of making them aware that their body can do stuff, not just lose weight. The weight loss and the strength gains will be a byproduct of training your body for a specific task. So like you with your running, people want to lift X amount of weight. Doesn't matter what it is. Make that the focus. and everything else around that, it becomes fun, and you can see the progress that way. And there's no way that you will build up that routine and system and not have it affect other aspects of your life positively. That is the main focus, like having like fundamental change. It's not easy, and it needs to be done step by step.
Yeah.
So when I went out on my own with ABC, having somebody come to me once a week and then not seeing them again for another week, a lot can happen in the week. Like you catch up with somebody once a week and you don't have any interaction with them from, let's say you catch up on a Monday to the following Monday, a lot happens in their life that they just tend to breeze over and forget, and then things get squashed down, and then 2-3 weeks down the line, something ticks them off and they just have an explosion.
It's not just a business transaction where,
No.
okay, come in, do your thing.
It's personal training. That's what personal training is. It's getting to know that person personally, develop a personal program for them, and know what's happening in that person's life, so that it is a personal, because you're getting in a relationship with that person. You're building a relationship, getting to know the person, what stimulates them to get more out of them, how to motivate them, what to say, what cues to use, and that doesn't happen overnight. So there needs to be a bigger reason than just I'm coming here to lose weight.
Yeah.
So having that, the one session a week, having touch points with the app where you can communicate as often as possible through the app and training programs, put as many notes in as possible. That's another touch point and a check-in. And the Saturday sessions are the biggest one for me, because I'm not going to be able to spend that one-on-one time with everybody through the week that I don't see, like yourself, that's online, you get your programming. Saturday, you come down, have a session, everybody has a chat, we work hard, have a bit of fun, and it sets our weekend up for the better, I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say lifestyle management, but it's helping people be better for who they need to be better for. That's the way I see it, and what personal training should be.
Yeah. In your time, what have you done for personal development or self-development? Have you always had the same goal? Has it evolved?
It's always evolving and it's always growing, because like we chatted about the other time, about there's never enough. But it's just focusing on what you want and what's important to you, and then just moving slowly along a path that gets you there. Like a plan doesn't always...
A plan is designed to fail normally.
Yeah, but it's something you can pull you back to your north and say, okay, this is what I did wrong. That's a reference point. Don't have to always follow, it'll be left and right. So personal development side, I was like with Virgin Active and working with the big companies that you do, there was a lot of courses in the start, especially with Jets as well, was NLP. So that sort of self-development and really understanding people and how to read body language, read what people are saying when they're not speaking, knowing when somebody's comfortable and how far you can push that person. So understanding that, the weights and stuff is the easy part. Making that person understand that this will help them with that, that's where you got to know the person and work around. So the NLP was a good course. There's lots of reading. I was fortunate enough that I worked with a personal trainer, Ryan Valent. I think you met him. Ryan.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute boffin. Like, he knows his stuff back to front, and I used to pick his brain a lot. Sit with him, have chats. He used to share some of his notes with me. I still got a Google folder of all his uni notes and stuff. I just read over that. And the principles don't change when it comes to training. There's a key couple of things you have to do, which is push, pull, hinge, squat, and carry stuff. And that's the stuff you're going to do for the rest of your life. And you just build around that.
Yeah.
So that's part of my development, and just reading anything and everything. Today, I never really flourished in structured learning, per se, with uni and stuff. That's when I went to uni. I did my course through TAFE. It was a lot, not easier, but better for me, learning-wise. School, I was there to play sport. So when it came to upskilling and finding stuff for personal development, I would find it, as funny as it sounds, on YouTube. There's lots of podcasts. There's a lot of information out there. Like, if you know what you're looking for and you want to learn something, you can find it.
Yeah.
Biggest resource would also, my dad's a teacher. So growing up, there was always that push for learning more. And even though I never did it as much as he probably would have liked it, but that instilled the whole more is better and learning and developing and constantly growing. And as whatever you want to do, it doesn't have to be a big thing all the time. It doesn't have to be massive chunks of things you take on. Small things like learning simple tasks around the house, like moving into your first home. There's a lot of things you're going to have to fix, things you're going to break. You can't be one-dimensional. So at the moment I'm studying a nutrition course which will give me the ability to write diet plans properly for general population. I've got one for athletes, but you can't do it for Gen Pop. And that's probably one of the most challenging things I've had to do is to sit down and just study this thing and read notes, do the assignments, and that structured learning. It's fun, but I can only do it for a certain period of time.
Studying hasn't been my strong point as well.
I take my hat to the people that's gone and studied 3-4 years, got doctorates, and studying for that amount of time, it's commendable. But yeah, the personal development stuff is just things I see. Pick up a book, like reading books is like old books, like Outwitting the Devil, that sort of stuff. Things that make you think. The personal development stuff, anything that can make me think laterally or critically or different to what's happening in the world or around us, and just open up an internal dialogue. I feel that's self-development in itself as well, where you can self-analyze, critique, and just build on yourself.
Yeah. I can resonate with that. As early 20s, I think I spent a lot of time listening to audiobooks, podcasts. I could never sit down and read. My attention span was I felt like I was studying. So I just listen while I'm driving, whatever it is. And I guess that helped me get a bit more knowledge and work on my skill sets and then improve them along the way as well. I think as a person, if you can be at least 1% better each day, then you've done your job.
100%. And I know all these things are spruiked over social media and it's said everywhere and it's a bit cliched at the moment, but if you really drill down into it and you start doing it, you see the value in it and you see it does work. That little small increment steps every single day doing something, it works. It's slow and steady. And your biggest thing was impatience. Everything you want now.
Yeah. Still working on it.
Yeah, me too, but it's just when you're working at Macca's as well.
Yeah.
It's been a long road, Dosh. It's been good though. Like you've seen my kids being born.
Yeah. Luca, Mia.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to air, but it's now the 25th of June. We're celebrating 10 years of friendship. So the 21st of June was 10 years of marriage. In that, you saw where we first lived in Berwick, and then bought a house, built a house, saw that, the kids being born. It's big steps that you've been involved in.
Yeah.
Like it's your first bicycle you bought over, we showed that it's
Yeah, there's been some good times.
And that's what I love the most about working with people, is seeing people on their journeys and seeing other people just tick things off and start progressing and moving forward. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's been great for me as well. I guess I couldn't have done certain things without your input and guidance. So just a thank you to you.
It's a pleasure. What's the symbiotic relationship? We just work well with each other, and the feedback you give, like the age difference is good because you give me a different perspective from people that's 10 years younger than me, an understanding of how you guys see the world, which is changing and it's different, and getting different perspectives is always good. Being able to sit with somebody and have them make you question your stance on something, that for me is also another big personal development thing. So it's for me, it's not always about books and reading and that structured learning. Personal development is developing you to communicate and interact with other humans, because there's some fun, amazing, interesting characters out there, and it just starts with how you doing. Just have a chat, and talk to somebody. You'd learn what that person's life's about a little bit, and it's just experiencing life from a different point of view almost, and getting to know what that person's life's about, and just having a chat.
We all have a little story to tell.
Exactly, and I'd like to listen to a story and then put it out on paper. I suppose this is what we're doing now. But just a visual version of it.
Yeah.
It's fun learning from people and talking to people and people from different walks of lives and how they've adapted to certain situations and scenarios in their life. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's fun at the same time. So I genuinely love what I do. And I think that's also another difference. Like you asked about the difference between personal training and stuff. I genuinely love it. Like seeing somebody lift weights, getting stronger, having a chat, helping these people move better. I genuinely love it. And that's like you asked why I left Good Love. It's a pure passion project. There's been I've been very gifted to work with a lot of people around me that have influenced me positively. Personal trainers, managers, there's a lot of PTs out there that are doing some great work that I was lucky enough to work with that had them in my team.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal to see how those people have grown from pretty much the ages where you were, where they came in 19, 20, and they just keep leveling up and they just keep moving forward. So it's the most fulfilling, just watching people develop. I've enjoyed this. Thank you for the opportunity, Darshan. It's definitely something stepping out of my comfort zone. The first time, hopefully this is first of many, but sitting down talking and then putting the headphones on, hearing your own voice for the first time, it's interesting.
Different.
Something different. That's the thing, just stepping into something that makes you uncomfortable. Doesn't matter what it is. This is something small, but it could be something big for somebody. And it's just it's building that habit of stepping out a little bit. So Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cuan.
Appreciate it.
It's been a great 10 years. Here's to 10 more.
Yeah, good to go.